Here's a richly crafted, emotional short story inspired by the title. Single dad stands up for paralyzed woman denied entry to a restaurant, unaware she's a millionaire. I begin with a powerful hook, build characters with hopes, fears, conflicts, and deliver a strong, inspiring message by the end. He didn't know that Day's simple act of kindness would change everything, not just for her, but for all of them. Marcus pulled his daughter, Amara, close as they waited outside the grand restaurant entrance. It was meant to be a small treat, her birthday dinner. The lights inside gleamed, laughter floated on warm air, and Marcus had just ordered her favorite chocolate cake. But as they lingered near the door, he noticed a commotion. A young woman in a wheelchair was being stopped at the hostess stand. The attendant's words floated in the air, "Sorry, we don't allow wheelchairs inside." Her name was Elena. She was 28, once full of energy and dreams. An accident had taken away her ability to walk, but not her dignity, her hope, or her desire to live fully. Tonight she had dressed carefully, hope shining in her eyes. Hearing the denial, her face crumpled. Embarrassment, hurt, resignation flickered in her eyes. A tight grip on the wheelchair armrest said more than words ever could. Amara tugged at Marcus's sleeve. "Daddy, why is she sad?" The innocence of her question cut deep. Marcus looked at Elena, at the fear and pain in her eyes. Without thinking, he stepped forward. "Excuse me," Marcus said, voice firm. "She comes in." The waiter stammered. The manager frowned. "Sir, this is a fine restaurant. We have standards. This is our policy." Marcus squared his shoulders, voice steady. "Your policy doesn't override a human right. If she's not welcome, then neither am I, and my daughter isn't either." Heads turned. A hush fell. Some guests shifted uncomfortably. A few looked away. Others swallowed. Marcus gently reached for Elena's wheelchair handles and lifted them slightly. "Come on," he said softly. "Let's go." He wheeled her away, Amara skipping beside them. Inside its walls, the restaurant remained silent. Outside, the world didn't change yet, but for Elena, something did. Stronger than disappointment was relief. Stronger than pain was gratitude. They didn't have much. Marcus worked long hours as a delivery driver. Amara was bright, curious, full of life. Elena had withdrawn, stopped going out. She believed the world saw her as a burden. But Marcus's gesture cracked something inside her, a longing to trust again. Over the next days, they met quietly, in simple cafes, in shaded parks, under the glow of street lights that felt kinder than polished chandeliers. Amara would draw cheerful cartoons, give them to Elena, and Elena's fragile smile would bloom into something soft, something hopeful. Marcus listened to Elena's stories, her dreams before the accident, her pain after, her longing to be seen as more than the girl in a wheelchair. But reality pressed back. Elena feared being pitied, or worse, used. Marcus worried about judgment, neighbors whispering, friends asking, why her? Money was thin, time was meager. Yet Elena resisted pity, Marcus refused condescension. They forged ahead, not as savior and rescued, but as people, flawed and hopeful, desperate for kindness. One evening, just as the sun dipped below the skyline, Elena confided something she'd never told anyone: "I don't just need kindness. I need respect. I need to be seen." Marcus squeezed her hand gently. "I see you," he said. "You deserve it, always have." And slowly, she began to believe him. Weeks later, whispers began. A sleek black car rolled up to Elena's modest apartment. Reporters spilled out. Camera flashes bloomed like fireflies at dusk. Bodyguards closed in, voices murmured. Elena stepped out, not in a shabby hoodie or guarded anonymity, but in elegant clothes, calm composure. The truth spilled out. Elena was the heiress of a vast hotel empire, a fortune she'd renounced publicly after the accident, choosing quiet solitude over flashy headlines. Marcus and Amara stared, stunned, as she walked toward them. The world gasped. The woman they had thought was just like them, vulnerable, quiet, turned out to hold more wealth than they could imagine. But Elena didn't walk away wearing a smug smirk. She looked at Marcus, at Amara. "You treated me like a person," she said. "Someone deserving of dignity and respect. Not because of my money, but because I'm human." That moment transformed everything. The cruelty of that restaurant vanished from memory. What mattered was the kindness that replaced it, unexpected, true. With Elena's resources and Marcus's integrity, they launched a small foundation to support people with disabilities, to fight prejudice, to open doors where once they were shut. Elena poured in funds, Marcus dedicated time. Amara became the little symbol of innocence and hope. Over time, their bond deepened. Friendship blossomed into something more subtle, intimate. They moved past pity and charity, they built something real: trust, respect, love. On a sunny afternoon at a park, Elena leaned on Marcus's shoulder. Amara ran ahead laughing. A gentle breeze stirred. Elena closed her eyes, smiled, and whispered, "You saved me." Marcus. He shook his head, soft and certain. "You saved me too. You taught me kindness. In a world quick to judge and slow to accept, sometimes it takes one voice, one act, to break the silence." This is a story not about wealth or pity, but about humanity. Not about rescue, but respect. Not about a rich girl, or a poor dad, but about people deserving dignity, love, and second chances. If you look around carefully, you'll notice people who are overlooked. People who deserve a seat at the table, a chance at kindness, a door opened instead of slammed shut. Because at the end of the day, how we treat the most vulnerable among us tells more about our humanity than any accolade ever will.